Hello and welcome to another episode of A Closer Look. In this episode, we take a look at the computer glitch by Bank of South Pacific that has affected thousands of BSP customers throughout the country. The Special Parliamentary Committee sat down this week to hear reports on the conduct and operations of the 2022 National General Elections in the Southern region. And the Datec Learning Center has held its 12th graduation. But first, we now take a closer look at the impacts that the BSP computer glitch had on the daily lives of people.
On the 5th of April, before the Easter weekend, BSP had released a media statement saying that its ATMs, FPOS and online purchase services will remain operational throughout the Easter weekend, except for only 3 hours from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. on Friday, 7th April 2023. BSP Group CEO Mark Robinson said to implement their new banking system safely and securely, they needed to switch off their old system and migrate their banking records to the new banking system, and this will require a series of planned downtimes, with some services being unavailable over the Easter weekend. However, within that period, the implementation of their new banking system has not gone smoothly as they have expected. The Chief Executive Officer of the PNG think tank group, Samson Komoti-Yum, said the computer glitch by BSP has directly affected more than 30,000 BSP customers, and also online banking services have been suspended for many days, and that had affected the staff salaries, other payments by SME businesses and individuals.
BSP Bank has not resolved the online transfer payments. It's still a problem. BSP has to come out and tell us not only the 33,000 or 30,000 plus customers that have been affected, but it also affects all the families that benefit from the account of these 30,000 plus employees, not employees, customers. But not only that, a lot of companies, big companies, state-owned entities, corporations, and SMEs, and small, companies like consulting companies and individuals, they can't do the salaries and wages transfer to their staff. It's impossible.
He says BSP has to come out clearly and explain to its customers on what the issue is.
Why is the system down for a very long time? It's almost 2 weeks now, and it's going to go into the 3rd week. The BSP management has to come out and explain why. Is it just a glitch, a technical error caused by the computer itself or by the human beings in there, the IT staff? Or has it been externally hacked? Has the BSP system been hacked by external parties? Nobody is coming out clearly on this. And we as the bank account holders and depositors, going past 30,000, and all the companies that bank with BSP has to do the right thing, cannot let us down with our trust and confidence in this bank. Must come out clearly on this.
A reporter for one of the dailies, Majeline Yane, also raised a concern, stating that her pay has been delayed for 1 week due to the computer glitch by BSP.
My name is Majeline Yane. My pay was supposed to be transacted into my account last week Wednesday, but it was not transacted, and this week Wednesday, the pay went in.
The acting Deputy Registrar General of PNG Civil and Identity Registry, Salome Keari, mentioned that they couldn't move to other provinces to register citizens within the last 2 weeks due to the computer glitch by BSP.
We have this 95% policy direction from the national government to complete at least 95% of the overall population by 2025. So as much as we can, we're looking at every opportunity to engage with our local community through whatever partnership, especially the DDA partnerships, because you are the district, so that's where we come to do this. So we are ready to do the work. Yeah. So as soon as everything is cleared, I think with the BSP issues, we haven't been able to move around in the country at this point. Once everything's ready, our teams will be sent out to start operations.
Mr. Komoti said the banks and financial institutions in the country comes under the central bank, and central bank has the judiciary duty to all commercial banks, microbanks and financial institutions in the country because they keep the money that belongs to the public and they need to be held accountable. He recommends that government should call on Bank of PNG governor to institute investigation into the BSP Bank computer glitch caused by foreign IT company engaged by the BSP, which has caused chaos and disruptions nationwide.
And the central bank has been, the acting governor, we have been calling on the acting governor to come out and to put pressure on the BSP Bank, even though it's an internal business affairs of BSP. It is dealing with thousands of people of Papua New Guinea. So the fiduciary responsibility of central bank means that they have to hold accountable BSP. This is a country we live in. We don't live in, out of nowhere. In the country we live in, we have laws. The banking laws that is governed by the central bank has to apply to all financial institutions, all microbanks and all commercial banks in the country. And BSP has no objection. Throughout the whole nation and overseas, for BSP, they are asking, what is happening? Can the management come out and explain what specifically is happening? And when do we expect BSP to correct the computer glitch? And when is the time the system will be restored?
Meanwhile, in a media statement released on 17th of April, BSP Group CEO Mark Robinson said BSP is meeting regularly with the Bank of PNG to keep them informed on the progress in addressing the technical issues and delays to payments and services. He says BSP is addressing its technical issues and improving their operations under the new banking system. The Chief Executive Officer of PNG Think Tank Group has called on parliamentarians to address these BSP technical issues and delays to payments and services accordingly.
The Treasurer's powers in his ministry oversees the central bank of PNG, and I am not seeing any politician in this country, both from opposition and government, coming out on this computer glitch that's affecting thousands of people and companies in the country, and it's prolonged for 2 weeks. It's not a small issue. A lot of people think it's a small issue. It's not a small issue. It's affecting people.
However, in a media statement released on Thursday, 20th of April, stating that BSP banking services returning to normal after backlog of delayed payments to customers is prioritized for clearing. According to BSP Group CEO, BSP is continuing to fine-tune its operations under the new banking system and confirms KunduPay service is now online. Check processing issues are being addressed, and government payrolls, along with most other organizations' payments, have been processed, and the remaining delayed payments will be prioritized for clearing. BSP assured its customers and clients that their banking account records are secure and correct, and their technical teams are putting in place extra measures to minimize interruptions to customer banking services. If BSP customers are still experiencing issues with their accounts or payments and have any issues accessing BSP Internet, mobile or other banking services, BSP encourages customers to get in touch with them.
After the break, we take a closer look at the special parliamentary committee sitting held this week. Welcome back to a closer look. In this segment, National Capital District, Central and Milne Bay are the first provinces to face the committee to share their reports, experiences and recommendations. Reporter Lindy Suharupa takes a closer look at inquiry into election in the nation's capital.
Failed election in Makam. Failed election in Makam.
Escalating violence has engulfed the Papua New Guinea elections, with reports of up to 18 people being killed.
The recent 2022 national general elections observed in our country was labelled by many as the worst compared to previous elections. In an attempt to help alleviate the discrepancies and concerns raised by voters, candidates, scrutineers, security personnel and everyone else involved in the recent election, the Special Parliamentary Committee conducted an inquiry into the operations and conduct of the elections. Provinces in the southern region were the first to attend this inquiry. The first to go was the National Capital District Election Steering Committee, comprising of City Manager Raul Frank, Police Representative Senior Inspector David Terry, and Election Manager Killer Ralai. Chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee and Governor of East Sepik Province, Alan Bird, asked for a brief summary of the 2022 national general election and perhaps a comparison to the 2017 elections from the perspective of the National Capital District Commission.
An amount of 1.5 million kina was budgeted for by NCDC for the national general elections 2022, of which I think the report is there. Almost spent about 1.450. We have a balance of about 50,000 or so. But I'm also advised just now that we've gone over that budget about 90,000 or so. So the records from national statistics are also unofficial, but trying to manage almost close to 1 million people in the city is a big task. We had issues with update of the common role. Just to explain the disaster or the sort of problem we had, the challenges and issues we had with common role is.
City Manager further shared his personal experience.
I, as the city manager, when I went up to the closest polling booth near my residence for voting, I didn't find my name on the common roll. But I actually filled in the form, and because the common roll is basically the jurisdiction within the Electoral Commission, we don't interfere there. Just as steering committee, we try to ensure and provide the support needed. So whenever Electoral Commission wants funding for common roll update or polling, so in all those activities, our expenditure basically is spent through all those 4 or 5 activities. But yes, in a nutshell, I did fill in my name, submitted in, and went up to polling, tried to cast my vote, and then they told me my name was not on the common roll. And I demanded. I said, I'm the city manager, I must vote. So they got another book, and then they filled in my name in, and I voted because it's my constitutional right.
NCD, being the capital of the country, was the first to go to the polls and the last to complete polling. He described costs incurred in the delays in polling as unbearable.
And the cost is just too much. It was unbearable. And so therefore we had to exceed even about 1.5 million, almost close to 1.6 million.
Chair of the committee, Alan Bird, then queried on the factors involved in the delay of polling in NCD. City Manager highlighted 2 main factors: names not on the common roll and intimidation by candidates. Election Manager Killer Ralai was then asked by the committee to provide some factors that affected the delay of polling in the nation's capital.
Many factors contribute to this contention. There are many factors contribute to this contention. 1, rural urban drift. 2nd, increased population. 3rd, law and order issues. 4, the global effects of global warming, the declining economy, and many other issues affecting elections in the National Capital District. As you all know, NCD is comprised of multicultural community, people with all walks of life. My office budgeted 10 million and was submitted in 2021 for the election conduct for NCD.
Ralai also blamed the one-day polling in the nation's capital as a major contributing factor to the delays, labeling the decision as a nightmare.
Polling, one-day poll for NCD, the number of polling teams was 202. The number of polling locations was 202. It was a massive job. It was a nightmare for my operation team, especially when you talk about logistics. It was a nightmare, one-day poll. There were live results transmitted through PNGEC website for public consumption on real time where they're counting respective counting centers. There were CCTVs installed in the 4 counting locations, 3 each. And it was first to be introduced in NCD, CCTVs. Interruptions by candidates continues. However, it was eventually declared in the early September 2022, the last province to complete the election process in the country.
Governor Bird then asked if it is allowed under the law for candidates and scrutineers to interrupt in election processes and the sanctions of scrutineers interfering in the election process.
By scrutineers, are those allowed under the rules? I think that's the first question I want to ask. Is it allowed? Should they be permitted to do that sort of thing?
This was Mr. Ralai's response.
They're supposed to submit written submissions straight after the polling and before the counting. That did not eventuate. We didn't have written reports, allegations, or petitions that were given to us. So in that process, we have to proceed the counting regardless of any disputes. I stand firm all the way. And that is where we delayed the counting process because there was intimidations, there was threat made to us.
Ralai further told the committee that scrutineers must be trained not to interfere with election processes. He said there was a lot of interference and intimidation by candidates and their scrutineers. However, all 4 members of the Special Parliamentary Committee gave affirmation that all this will stop moving into the 2027 elections. The committee further instructed Metropolitan Police in the city through Senior Inspector David Terry to provide the committee with a written list of penalties that should be implemented in terms of intimidation and interference by candidates and scrutineers and to present to the committee in 2 weeks' time. NCD's Central and Milne Bay provinces set for their inquiry on Thursday last week, followed by Northern, Western and Gulf provinces respectively on Friday. All these provinces in the southern region reported only one major issue faced, and that was names of eligible voters not on the common roll, leading to frustrations shown in some polling sites. A recommendation was put forward to the Special Parliamentary Committee after all these hearings were for preparations including updating of the electoral roll and adequate funding made available. Work must begin this year and onwards to 2027.
Don't go away. After the break, we take a closer look at the Datec Learning Center 12th graduation. You're watching a closer look. A total of 123 students at Datec Port Moresby campus graduated with their diploma certificates.
The Port Moresby campus of the Datec Learning Centres has seen a huge turn-up of crowd attending the school's graduation. For this year, a total of 123 students graduated with their diplomas. Datec Learning Centres is a subsidiary of Telecom Limited. Present at the event were Datec CEO Gokul Naidu, General Manager Ravi Chandran, PNG University of Technology Deputy Vice Chancellor Dr. Gary Sally. Datec CEO Gokul Naidu acknowledged the support shown in witnessing the significant ceremony.
Moment for each one of you. I thank all the parents who came here. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a crowded place. During COVID, we did not even have the graduation ceremony. But luckily, this 1-2 years, we are able to have functions. We will see in future we can have it in a better place, but we had to do it quickly, so we couldn't organize it better. So on behalf of our Datec Learning Centers management and team, we would like to thank each one of you who have witnessed your brother or sister or your sons graduate from Datec Learning Centers. It's a proud moment, and we thank you from our heart that you trusted our organization, our learning centers, and you put your future of your kid with Datec.
Naidu encouraged the graduates to persevere when they join the workforce. For some who are working class, this is the time to apply the knowledge that Datec has imparted on them in their careers.
We work very hard, our team works very hard in providing quality trainings and learnings to our students. When they leave our organization, we want to make sure that they just don't take knowledge. They go with skills. They are straight away able to get a job and secure a job. So we wish you guys all the best. Wish you each one of you a wonderful journey in life. And as I say again, life is not a competition. Okay? And life is a journey.
Datec's General Manager Ravi Chandran also gave his address to the graduates.
12 graduation we handled. Nearly 1,000 plus students graduated from our school in Palm and Leh. We are proud to say more than 60 to 70% of them achieved the jobs. They are getting job once they finish the graduation, finishing from our school. That's what I want to proudly I want to share with you guys. Right? See, there is a lot of skill gaps in Papua New Guinea. So Datec identifying the skill gap, we are trying to build the capacity within the country. We are producing graduates to ensure to fill the gaps within the country. 2023 graduation, 123 students graduating from Palm campus. In Leh campus, it's going to be in the month of June. It's about 78 students graduating from Leh campus. That's what going to be, right? See, in PNG after COVID 2021 and 2022, now slowly blooming. Yesterday I was going through some articles, some reports. According to the ADB reports, it's expected 3.3% growth expecting. Lot of economic development activities going around the country. So it's a good opportunity for you guys.
A total of 123 students graduating with Advanced Professional Diploma in IT, Advanced Professional Diploma in IT Distance, Advanced Professional Diploma in Server and Network Administration, Advanced Professional Diploma in IT and Business Management, Diploma in Project Management, Diploma in Business Analysis and Business Intelligence. Unitec Deputy Vice Chancellor Dr. Gary Sally spoke on the partnership of the university and Datec.
Datec, we signed the MOU or MOA, and then to have the learning center, Datec Learning Center, Unitec. So the degree that degree people get or certificate that you get or diploma, is affiliated to that university. So university is a very important one. Let me say that the Papua New Guinea University of Technology has a vision. Our vision is to grow world-class technocrat for the real world. Now that sounds very big, but when you look at technocrat, we are actually talking about one individual student sitting here. It may be Mary, it may be Jack, whoever that is. So technocrat in a real sense, it may refer to science and engineering, but it can also in the social sciences. We're talking about that particular, the knowledgeable person, the talented individual, the innovative, the skillful person. That's the one that we like to produce.
He emphasized on the importance of education and practicality.
And on top of that, what's up there? I think only God, the Creator. Now we have got our calling in our life to contribute to everything we do, but it's what we do. We have to be committed. So with that, let me say that graduates, you have earned the right to graduate with the diploma from Unitec Datec Learning Center. You've earned it right because you know the path that you have walked through.
And that's all we have for you on this week's episode. Join us same time next week for another A Closer Look episode. From all of us here, pleasant viewing, good night.